Hello everyone and welcome to Loco. That's it, that's the name of the game. Just Loco. And this is the video that I've been on about for the last 3-4 weeks now possibly. Now, I've gone and recorded this before, wasn't happy with it, come back, so on and so forth. But here we are. We're going to have a look at Loco. Now, what exactly is Loco, you may ask? You can see some buildings plopped around. The bit of track here with a pit, a tank with diesel, a tank with water, and a table. There we go. Now, essentially, what Loco is, easiest way I can say is you've seen railroads online on the channel, whereby we go from industry A to industry B. We have to build our own tracks. We have to transport goods. And that, in a nutshell, is what this game is too. We'll bring up the map, have a look. Now, there are 2 maps available now. I've only looked at this map. I haven't looked at the second one. And when I started out to record this, there was only this one map. But there are now 2 maps. And this is map A. So, as you can see, we've got a whole bunch of buildings around. Standard goods supplies is just in front of us. And various different things around. Now, some industries will supply you with goods. So standard goods supplies, obvious. Coal mine speaks for itself. Heavy goods yard, we're going to get heavy goods from there. And I believe the black ones are places where you can deliver to. Now, was, I think, a way of showing up what goes where, but I don't remember that. We can get into that later. So, one thing I like about this game, and it is still very early access. I mean, I'm about a month beyond where I wanted to be with recording this. But the game is very early access. To my knowledge, there's 2 guys working on it. It is a Unity-based game, so if you do see assets that you think, oh, that was in game XYZ, that's why. But that's not a bad thing. Especially starting out, Unity engine is not a bad game engine. Gives you a lot of customization. Anyway, over to the table. Because we have various different things. So we have locomotives, wagons, port vehicles, narrow gauge, cars and trucks. Back to locomotives. And there's a bit of a description here. Trains, and there's, let's have a quick flick through. So we've got a Trojan, which is a Great Western 040, an LDM 12, which is, I believe, German, small diesel Loco. Then we get into the Amtrak F40, TEM2, TE116, R66 with exhaust effect, an SD70, TNR H6, New York Central liveried FA1, then FA1 or FB1, sorry, an E4 Loco, which those of you who are fans of Thomas the Tank Engine will probably recognise that that is what this Loco is based on. or Thomas is based on this Loco, should I say, in E4. The obvious difference being that is an 062, Thomas is an 060. We have a Mogul, and we have the Rocket. And this is new, we have the Metro. We have a BR24, which I think the image is possibly wrong on that. Again, early access. And then we're back to our Trojan. And if we go through the wagons, we've got tiny trailer, short trailer, coal 6 plank, which can't see the picture for, coal 7 plank, small flatbed 12 ton, 15 ton, medium trailer 2, long trailer, long load trailer, 65 ton hopper, heavy flatbed 2, container wagon, hoppy, passenger coach, wooden coach, Dreamliner coach, 25 ton hopper, PXX container well car, steel wagon, boxcar 1. We're back to our tiny trailer. So, as you can see, there's a whole fleet of vehicles, and I'm not going to go name them all. Look, you've got your tender for your Rocket, your Mogul. So depending on what you go for. Don't believe that colour button works as of yet. I think that is a future thing. But you get the idea. There's a whole bunch of vehicles and a whole bunch of ways of delivering. Now this, we'll go on to track building next. And as you see, if I highlight that, I've got link rail. And if I use the V button, which is rail type, you'll see at the top of the screen, 1430mm without sleepers. Now, 1430mm is your standard gauge. And we have 900mm, which is narrow gauge, with or without sleepers, and standard gauge with or without sleepers. So, I'll give you an example of how the track lane works. So, drag out, and you can do all crazy things. And then using Q&A, you can angle the final angle of the tracks. Now, it used to be that 1 and 2 did smooth of the curves. I think that has been removed now. Oh no, it is still doing something. Like you can see there. It used to be that those 2 red balls would move up and down to indicate that it was doing something. New buttons that they've added in is auto corner. I love. For some reason, auto corner doesn't work with. Yeah, now it's working. There you go. You can vary the angle of your corners. See. So that allows you to, you have toggle auto corner on and change that to 0. Allows you to have perfect straight track, which I really like. Take note of the games. Now, for a downside, you'll see there's an auto level. Excellent. So if I go left click and we'll lay some track and we'll press enter, and There we go. Auto level track following the contours of the ground. And what you can do is if you go and lay track, once you've laid 4 segments, it will automatically lay it like this. Between segments, unfortunately, you do get this area where there are no sleepers, but it's not the end of the world. Now, we do have a whole bunch of other things we could build. Build crossovers, build turntables. And as you can see, these will all connect in automatically when you get close enough. That is a re-railer. If you put a train on the ground, you can use that to re-rail it. Have narrow gauge points, standard gauge points, and using the up and down arrows, look, you can change the orientation. What you can't do, fortunately, is get this to auto move to the ground. So if I lay this, you can see the ground drops away here, or track leading up to that slopes. And unfortunately, won't work, sits in the air. I haven't found a way of getting around that yet. Worse still, look, is from this pad, track goes up straight away. Cannot avoid the rising of the track, which is a shame. But it's not the end of the world. As soon as you've laid your points, you can smooth out your track afterwards, and all is good and well. All right, let's go have a look around at what we've got. Now, you've seen there's a turntable. There's also pre-built roundhouse for you. There, look. You'll have to work out where your turntable's supposed to go. My guess would be come in here, can build track from any point. So you come in here, press your B button, and you build your tracks out. So that I'm going to show you roughly. Could build another one out of here, for example. Yeah. So you could hypothetically go like that, and then from that work out where your turntable needs to be. Anyway, moving on. First industry you're going to come to, this one. This is your supplier. Have a look. See, there's a little green shaded box. And you want track work to be under that box because that is where it spawns in your goods from. And it's going to drop it into your wagons. As you can see, production level 0% at the minute, standard goods 10,000. So you can drop 10,000 standard goods from here. And then if you look in the distance, you can see the blue diamonds scattered around. Might even be able to see some distance that way as well. Yeah. They are all your various industries. If we look again, see where they are and what you're aiming for. And if you hit this refresh track button, scrolling enough, you'll see it actually shows you on the map something that you cannot do in Railroads Online yet. It shows you on the map where you've laid tracks. How awesome is that? I'd say this map's slightly better in ways, and that it does give you a bit of a better overview of what the terrain is like as well. It's not perfect by any means. But anyway, I'm off that. Having shown you all this, I'm going to go lay some track. I'm going to come back to you momentarily. In fact, actually, if you press F7, it will drop you back here. Nifty little thing. Yeah, I'm going to go lay a basic network, which is going to go from our first industry, from here actually, from our spawn point, up to our first industry, and then out to that one over there, which is Harts Creek. So bear with me and we'll be back in a second. And through the magic of editing, we are back. See, we've got a line going. And you can see I've opted for narrow gauge. Now, as you can see, this isn't the smoothest laid track in the world. It runs here. We've got a switch here. Now, these are cool. I wanted to show you how these are modelled. So, not 100% accurate in real life. We basically have one blade and it flicks between the two, look. But I think that's a really cool way of doing it, because that, although realistically it doesn't look real, but it does the job. It's going to be easy to identify which way your point's set from a ways back there. Right. Your control stand there. But it's also going to be a great low poly way of modelling your switches. So we come down here. You can see where I mean by the track joints there, and missing our sleepers. See, that comes perfectly under our block. And we come up here. Need to switch that because that should always be switched. And that is going to be storage siding. Flip that again. And run back out here. Again, this is caused simply by the terrain changing, and the points cannot change with the terrain. Hopefully they can fix that in a later update. That's one thing Railroads Online does do better, is you have the separate groundworks, which means you can control your terrain much better. Anyway, our line continues out. I'm running along this, so please bear with me. Going as fast as I can. In fact, take a shortcut. Because our track carries on out there. For one very good reason. You can see the terrain is terrible out this way. Trying to run a train through here would be a nightmare. Take the shortcut. Bounce along the ground. Now, we can swim or glitch through water. However you want to see it. However, vehicles certainly can't. If you put a vehicle in the drink, it will cause all kinds of glitches and errors and probably break your game at this stage. Or it certainly did the last time I did it. They may have fixed it now. But either way, I wouldn't recommend putting your train or trucks or whatever you have into water. So run along here. See, close to that diamond now. Coming up to our track. We can follow for the last section. And the reason I've took this loopy route again is for the terrain. It's still not 100% smooth, and part of that is working with the train. Part of it is my inexperience with the track tools. Anyway, we'll come around here, and as long as you come anywhere through that green line, green box, you can drop off cargo. Now that's weird because that just shows a single line there. As you can see, that's a solid box. Right, okay, so that changes things. What we may need to do actually is nope. 900mm with sleepers, link rail. On that. There. It's a bit close to that platform edge there. I hope that's going to be okay. Cycle through. We want to connect to there, please. That on there. I'm just using N to bring up the points. So going to do is run for now paste. Run track out to there. Okay, caused a bit of a glitch there. That was me, not the game. Didn't end it correctly. Run that out again. Bend in. Good. End it there for now. We'll worry about points in later. So I'm going to F7 ourselves back to the start. We're going to talk about vehicles and why I've gone narrow gauge. Now, The reason I went narrow gauge is because they've gone and changed the starting amount of cash. Now, when I first started out on this, you only got 8,000. So if we have a look, standard gauge locos, 4,500. Whichever one you went, unless you went rocket. But then bear in mind, you'd need the tender, which is another 1,500. So 3,500 for your loco. Then you chuck in even a tiny trailer at 2,000. So 4.5, that makes it 6,500. Unless again you go for Stevenson's rocket, the 6,500. What I would suggest you guys need though is one of them. The reason I say you need one of those as your first purchase is I've done this run through a few times, so I knew roughly where I wanted this first track to go, so I could lay it out and run my vehicles. A pickup truck is a great surveying tool though. You can either run around the map like a loon, or you can jump in a pickup truck, get around much quicker, see the lay of the land, feel the land, because you're going to feel it in the truck when you're juddering about how smooth it is and whether you can realistically run a train track through. That would have took you to 8,500, and you only started with 10,000 previous. However, we go narrow gauge. See, that's only 4,000 for this cute little minecart 1 is 4,000. And minecart 2, mine hopper 4,000, mine trolley 4,000, a lorry is 4,000. You can get the Resixa, 3.5 grand. A narrow gauge gondola is 2.5. Medium trailer 2,000. Long flatbed 3,000. Long flatbed 2, 2,000. So as you can see, if we went for one of these, for example, or one of those, which is what we will do, because I'm more of a diesel man. But basically 4,000 for your loco. 2,000 will get you a long flatbed. A 6,000. And if you want to pick up, that brought you into your 8,000. So that is why I have gone narrow gauge. Just get more for your money. With that said, color button doesn't work. I don't mind yellow anyway. We're going to hit buy. And there we go. First loco that's randomly rolling off without us. Right, let's put the brakes on. Ignore the bright pink controls. I can assure you that will not be a feature in the end. But anyway, let's talk our way through the controls. So first of all, as you've seen, there's your brakes. We'll put a brake on it. First thing we're going to want to do is fuel our train. Now, currently, there is no coal supply. So if you get a steam engine, you're going to get unlimited coal. But you are going to have to top up your water. And the way to do that is to either come back to the start section here, and you'll have a fill button like that, which I've just done from the diesel, and you can fill up your train. I imagine they're going to bring in coal eventually, but for now, either water for your steam train or diesel for your diesels. Now, let's talk cars and trucks. Because you have a T-Rex. You have the pickup, which I recommend getting. Because you can also throw something in the back there. You can throw one cargo from over there. You could drive it to your destination. Not how the game was designed, not how they expect you to play it, but you can do that. And it will accept it. It's a high-low, which is basically a Toyota Hilux. Let's not beat about the bush. 4.5 grand. A Raven, which is a cool crane. A Ural Water and a Ural Diesel. Now these are the ways that you can fill up here, drive them, either park them up strategically or drive them out whenever you need to fill up your locos. And that is one way of flying. You can also get a Ural flatbed, which it doesn't show on the picture here, but you will get it. And you can take goods that way. A Ural crane. Speed punk. Cool little go-kart. Not sure how it's going to cope with the terrain. Maybe we'll play with that one day. And you do have a forklift as well, which I imagine if you dump your load on the ground, could come in handy. Anyway, we are going to want to get a long flatbed to attach to our train. However, everything spawns here. So if I was to spawn that now, it's going to land on top of our loco, and that wouldn't be good. So, build up with fuel. Knock off the brakes. We don't need to set the reverser yet. Let's hit the start button. Sounds a bit like a jackhammer actually, doesn't it? Hopefully that's not too loud and overpowering. Are you talking? As you can see, we squeeze the regulator and away she goes. Pretty Starfish. Sounds are pretty basic on these, it has to be said at the moment. So just be aware. Right, one thing I need to do before we purchase any vehicle. Just pop a small piece of track in here. And I believe, no. And we want. Ah. Yeah, that's a bit big. If I'm honest. Okay, we'll go with it. Because we are going to buy our long flatbed. When we come to buffer up this, it's going to try and push it down the tracks. And I don't know if that... No, that's not a functional brake. Let's jump in. Using the right button Okay, I'll reverse it back. Right mouse button to release the brakes. You only have to give it a tiny tap on the power. Get her moving. Bring it down to a crawl. Bring it down to a crawl, he says. Well, there. See, it does tend to try and roll away with itself. What I'll do is roll that back. Annoyingly, the Loco's rolling at the same pace as the wagon. No, the wagon is coming to a stop. Just gonna wait, and hopefully that is now hitched. Find out. We're now rolling forwards. So, yes, our wagon is rolling with us. That's just that. All off the brakes. Give a bit of speed. Oh no. As you can see, there are one or two problems at the moment. Oh. Don't worry if you drop in the hole. Again. Up again. So I do apologise for this bit taking its time. Hopefully this time we'll be able to hook up, and hopefully there isn't an issue with using these, because otherwise we're going to have to sell it again. Try and hook up this time. Come on. It'd be great if there was a graph or some kind of indication that we are hooked up. Maybe it's incompatible connection. Reverse it. And cut the brakes. A little bit of... Right. I'm gonna say that's not working. That worked. Excellent. We get an auditory confirmation there. Rather loud. And we are hooked up. Let's go for a run. Reverse set forward. Brakes are off. Full tank of gas. We are away. Not convinced by a horn, but that's what we've got. That's what we'll take. Go down a bit. Coming too fast. Oh. Wow. That didn't quite go to plan. Going for a bit of a smoother stop than that, if I'm honest. Oh. Keep rolling back. Okay. Right. Spawn. There we go. Got one black crate. Well, let's load up a few more. Yep. And the spawn button again. That looks like TARDIS. Okay. Release the brakes. You can see we are on a slight downhill slope here, so you can actually just let it roll through. Brake on. Oop. Water bund. ICB, depending on what you know them as. And brakes on again. And oop. We've got a second one. So these are somewhat random. Doesn't matter, you'll still get the same amount of money for them, regardless what they are. Now, if I'd spaced it out that perfectly, could have got at least 5 items on here, but 4 is good. 4 will be good for our first trip. So, off the brakes, get our cursor to forwards, check the line ahead has been set correctly. It has. We're going to take number 8 here. Head for our first destination. Crank it up. Away we go. Okay, the sounds aren't great, but I do wonder if the actual real life version is probably just 2-stroke petrol. Would explain sounds. As I say, I think the hot pin controls are a temporary thing. I know I certainly tried this with a different Loco in the past and did not have hot pin controls, so I think, as I say, cannot stress this enough. Early access, work in progress. I know the guys are working on it because this UI you can see in the top. I can't actually look at it at the moment for you. Go down here. Back is a bit twisty. Don't want to lose our load. So, doing a good job staying on safer. But yes. UI on the bottom right hand corner and up the left hand side, that didn't used to be there like that, and I'm so glad that it is, because especially as you're learning the game, it's having that, and that is so much better. And what you can do is press F10, you can choose what ones you want to clear. Get rid of that. Escape there. This brings up that menu. And so what we're actually going to do is we're going to hit start time. Don't think that does anything at the moment. But what you can see, we changed the time of day. And add a bit of rain. Now this is the bit you didn't get to see before when we took a run, and I deliberately cut it out. Oh, okay, right on the trailer now. We got ourselves a little bridge up near the waterfall. Overrun it a bit there. Yeah, as you can see, there's big craters everywhere, so we kind of have to take this scenic route, shall we say, though not that scenic. Who knows, maybe we'll have the option to plant some trees further down the line, make this a bit more scenery orientated. And it's weird to say that, but compared to Railroads Online, where the whole world is covered in trees and you're having to constantly cut back the trees, just give it a bit of throttle now because we are going uphill. So once again, I do apologise if the sound is a bit loud from the game. We'll have a check when I come to edit it, and I may be able to fix that somewhat. It's really bumpy there. That's not good, Nick. We need to fix that. But this is our first route, after all. And as I say, I'm trying to get used to whether it's better in certain areas to use the auto level option when laying track, or whether to manually try and manipulate it. Increase the throttle there when I didn't really mean to. A little bit, get us up this final stretch. We can cut back. So now we're either on the level or heading downhill now. And a free shot on the horn, just so they know we're coming in. Just gonna brakes on. Don't come in too quick. There's our green box. That is really close, Nick. In there. Good. Let's go a little bit further. Like that. Oh, a little bit further. What we're trying to do is essentially just get all 4 items into that green box. I think I've overshot now. Yes, we have. Right. So, buy standard goods at $100 a piece, heavy goods 1,000, large materials 3,000, and mining supplies 3,000, lumber 2,500. As you can see, if you go to the other industries and collect and bring here, you can make better money. We're going to hit that. And it does go down, look. We need to just reverse up. Just do a slow roll by here. Oh. Don't know if our Loco would be nice if we had sort of rather than just an instant death and instant start, but yeah, early access. That is something they can look at a later date. So anyway, guys, bit of a long one, I know. We're coming up to an hour long now, but I thought the game deserves it for this first look. I wanted to try and show you as much as I possibly could. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of it. Is it good? Is it bad? Does it have potential? Is it just another train sim to you? Does it offer anything unique, do you think? Or again, is it already served by other kind of games in the genre? Me personally, I know that I'm glad it's out there. Even if there are elements that it shares from other games, that's not a bad thing. I mean, just think, if the only train sim we had was from Dovetail Games and there's no other train sim games out there at all, just think of kind of the situation we'd be in. And that's not picking on Dovetail, I'm just saying any place you have a monopoly where there's only one supplier of that, be it a train sim, be it an open world transport game like this and Railroads Online, there wasn't different ones. I think the more you have, the richer the experience, and the more they can say, that's a good idea, we should incorporate that into our game. It pushes you to go further. But that's just my view. What are your views? And so let me know down in the comments. Also, if you are inspired to go buy this game, it's up to you. It's not the cheapest in the world. I will have a link down in the description to the Steam page, so you can, of course, go buy it. If you do go and buy it, let me know. And let me know what you think of it. Because I'd love to give all this feedback to the devs, I'm looking to kind of push in that direction of working more with games developers. I haven't spoken to these guys yet, but it is something I'm looking to do. There is one or two developers of other games that I am in slow burner conversations with. I'm not going to go into details of that here, but it is the kind of direction I'd like to move forward to into the future, because more and more I'm thinking about it, more I'd like to become involved in some capacity with this YouTube channel. I don't want it just to be 140 subscribers sitting there watching me play the odd train game. So yeah, if, like I say, let me know your thoughts on this game. If you buy it, let me know. And let the devs know that you've brought it on the back of seeing this video. And with that said, I'm going to wrap this up now, guys. I've waffled on long enough. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.